work acting as champions of municipalities and those that are struggling to meet their targets and essential service to our people. This approach will enable us to address delivery gaps more efficiently and show that no community is left behind. Despite numerous challenges and at times seemingly insurmountable odds, our government succeeded in delivering basic services to our most vulnerable and disadvantaged members of our society. In the past year alone, seen significant advancement in the public service, and it's that we continue to build on this progress and maintain momentum to accelerate service delivery for all our people. It involves not only professionalizing our public service, but also committing to the ongoing training, skill development through review of our current practice, such as addressing the ethics standard of our public servants. We must thank all honest public servants who are brave enough to come forward to blow the whistle on corruption and malpractices in workplaces. We can assure them, meaning whistleblowers, that we will strive to protect them as they continue to let us aware of all the children that are taking place in the place. Many of them sees a threat because they should do that which is right. Colleagues, as government will redouble efforts to combat corruption, bribery, and nepotism, and strengthen our government institutions while upholding the core values of transparency, accountability, that pins the government of national unity. Our committed ethics management is strong. We're implementing lifestyle audits for senior management members to ensure accountability. As of July 2024, 147 out of 160 national provincial departments have completed their lifestyle audits. To support ethical activities, we have institutionalized the officer across all departments. These officers promote ethical management, conflicts of interest, and report unethical behavior. We are also developing an ethics self-assessment tool in collaboration with the National School of Government. Discipline is being sent through our backlog project initiated in 2023, which has ensured the resolution of officers' cases. As at the end of this year, the several departments selected for intervention could resolve uplift 130 of their long overdue suspension out of 250. And this represents a finalization of almost 53%. The provincial department selected to also resolve 68 out of 172 long of cases. This represents 40% of resolution rate. Our new directive on discipline management encourages timely hearings, precautionary transfer to ensure compliance with applicable time frames, the resolution of cases. Regarding this transfer, the department has ensured that while every senior qualified and competent official are undergoing disciplinary process, and this is important, they don't just sit at home on suspension, but they are transferred to other departments unit for them to use their skills, qualifications to benefit the department or unit that they are on suspension. And this has proven to work well and has government so much money. Colleagues, the Departmental Public Service places a high priority on growth, health, and wealth with strong focus on public sector employees who are dedicated to putting the needs of people first. We are committed to revitalize the Batupile principle while at the same time ensuring that the well-being of our public is at the forefront of our effort. This includes implementing comprehensive health strategy, especially in the wake of challenges brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. We have witnessed a transformative impact of our technology on work, on its delivery. Moving forward, we will continue to explore how technology can enhance the efficiency and accessibility of our services. We'll achieve this by leveraging information and communication technology, innovative system, and creative solutions as we aim to improve public service operation and better serve our citizens. However, we're in the sense of the fact that we must address the challenges ICT system on time, which hamper service delivery. Our commitment to digital transformation and ethics management is vital for enhancing accountability and ensuring that our public service operates with dignity. Therefore, colleagues and members of the meet, it gives me a great pleasure to announce that we have several key activities planned during this month, which will feature a series of impactful events aimed at enhancing service delivery, promoting governance. As indicated here, this week we officially launched the 2024 Integrated Public Service Fund in collaboration with the Northern Cape Provincial Government on the 5th of September. It will be followed by Ethics Week, the 9th to the 13th of September 2020, which will choose the Ethics Committee picture and provide training on lifestyle audit and risk management. These initiatives aim to strengthen the ethical foundation of our public service. Additionally, the Department of Public Service Administration and the Department of Corporative Governance will launch a public sector ethics survey conducted by Ethics Institute to assess the state of ethics in the public administration. Another important event, dialogue on the provision of service to persons with disabilities, scheduled for the 12th this month. This will examine our progress in upholding the rights of people with disabilities and inform evidence-based policy recommendations. The Service Delivery Monitoring Week we held on the 16th to the 20th September 2020. The aim of this is to strengthen governmental relations and collaboration, ensuring effective service delivery. The Tupile Week, which will take place throughout the week of the 23rd to the 27th of September, incorporating the Kaude Prem Heritage Week. We are delighted to inform members of the meet that together with the States University, the School of Governance, our very own Center for Public Service Innovation will host the 17th edition of International Conference on Theory and Thesis of Electronic Governance, the ISAV, coming to South Africa for the first time on the 1st to the 4th of October, in keeping our commitment to transform the public sector by strengthening government. In the same week, the CPI will host a hackathon weekend from the 6th of October in partnership with the sector to find innovative solutions to our problems in the public sector. The Integrated Public Service Month activities will end with the employee medical team big work will take place on the 6th of October, reinforcing our commitment to the public service excellence and well-being of public servants. Inclusion. As we embark on this, we are committed to deepening the relationship between government and the people. We'll be engaging with communities, listening to their concern, and working collectively to find solutions that are sustainable and inclusive. Our government is a government that values dialogue, participation, and empower its citizens. In moving forward, the Public Service Month is our unending commitment to you as people of the country. We pledge to work tirelessly with integrated education to build a public service that is efficient, compassionate, capable of driving the social economic transformation our country desperately needs. You, the people of the country, have clearly expressed your desire for unity, regardless of our political and ideological differences, as we celebrate years of democracy and reflect on the many achievements you have reminded us that still much to be done. This work must be approached collectively. Your voices were heard in your votes, which is why we have established a government of national unity. So together, let us build a future where the citizens say with confidence that this is a government that works for them. I thank you so much. So question directed to us. we will speak more, and also the direct DG and DDGs will help in those technical aspects.
Thank you very much, Minister Buthelezi. Now time for Q&As. Minister Buthelezi would be able to do just a few, I said one handful of one-on-ones after the briefing, if you have questions or not, particularly related to Integrated Public Service Month. So for now, the opportunity for questions. I'll take one. If you have, see we here, ma'am, and may I ask that you identify yourself and the media house you represent before ask question. And this second over here, I don't see any other hands. Spotlights are incredible. Just a view. You first, ma'am.
Okay. Can you? Okay. My name is Inkosi Mzamo Buthelezi. I'm with the SABC. Auditor General has spoken about use of consultants and how it's draining public service. Talking about in terms of municipalities in Limpopo and the use of consultants, particularly with regards to financial reports. What are you going to do about that? This issue has been flagged for the longest time, but it seems as if it continues to take place, and it is quite problematic. The second thing is that I heard you mention anything about lifestyle audits. I wasn't quite sure what it is that you said. There was a report in one of the weekend newspapers about, officials having lavish lifestyles that obviously cannot support if you were to look at what it is that they actually earn. What is this in terms of lifestyle audits? And the last question is that you have put honest public grants, but you have said you're going to go out of your way to protect the whistleblowers. How is that are you intending this?
Thank you for those questions. Heidi,
it's Heidi Jokos from ENC. I've slightly covered the lifestyle audit question, but maybe if you could just cater that you've concluded about 147, if I'm not mistaken. If you could just maybe, if you can, tell us what you found from conducting those lifestyle audits. And then in terms of this program that you're going to be taking for the next year, do you really think that is the best solution in dealing with the many issues the department faces? Is this the bestest approach they can take in dealing with that? Thank
you. Are there any more questions? One at the back, Rain.
Just you mentioned something that whistles that has been suspended, that they will take into other departments, or lay manuals, or supervise to that what they're accused of. It doesn't happen again.
Okay. And I think those these comments. May I direct those questions to the Director General? So the DG over there to answer the technicalities around the question on use consultants in Limpopo specifically. And the other questions relating to if the best approach of the transfers of employees that Raymond just asked. I think that could be covered by our officials. And if Minister would like to in over there and add to it to the conversation, then we can answer those questions surrounding that. Okay, over to you.
I missed the second one you dedicated to. The use of consultants.
Use of consultant protection.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Oh, okay. I have a colleague in the audience who I would like to come closer and deal with the question the lifestyle audits in particular. On the issue of the use consultants, Minister, I forgot to greet everyone before. Apologies for that. My name is Ramakasi DGTPSA. On the issue of use of consultants, and the specific example that has been given in terms of local government, what I would like to is that indeed, on an ongoing basis, as part of audits that the Auditor General does, they look at the use of audits, even in the public service, which means the national and provincial departments. But we have some principles and rules around the use of consultants in the public service. We don't think we'll be able to completely do away with the use of consultants, because there are some skills that you may require at a particular time in the department are not available in the department, and therefore you bring consultants. But what we have issued guidelines against is the use of consultants to replace employees who should have been appointed in positions, because what you pick up sometimes that consultants are used to close the gaps because there are vacancies in an occasion or vacancies in a department. So there's very stringent rules that is put in place around use of consultants in the public service. It includes the use in local government, but I think it's important for strengthening of compliance and oversight local government perspective to ensure that those municipalities that use consultants fully skills that are not available within their portfolio in the municipality. And as I said already in the public service, we are guided that principle in using consultants. You'll hear me talking about public service, about local government, because DPSA is responsible for national and provincial government in terms of the mandate, the public service. Local government is another sphere that falls under the leadership of the Minister of Local Government, and I am doing that differentiation. So I may not be able to answer fully on what mechanisms local government is in place, but broad, I know that use of content is an issue that gets even in national department, provincial department. The question around lifestyle audits, if Dr. Solomon, you can come, so he is the project for this. But what I do want to see is that the DPA plays a role of supporting departments. So we work with donor agencies through collaboration, and we do a lot of training for officials. We do not do the actual lifestyle audits, it's ourselves, DPSA, but there is a process that he'll explain, which includes review. First, you look at the news, and from there, when there are cases that must be escalated to law enforcement, cases would be escalated after going through the officers. But he will explain it in detail because he runs with the project. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Solomon.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Minister, Deputy Minister. Now, I think I'll address the question of lifestyle audits first. From the way I understand the questions, the first one was around, is this the best they can do? And then a status report update on that. Now, to start with the lifestyle audit process itself. Lifestyle audits, we started in 2020. It's the most complicated methods and systems that we had yet in the TAUI to implement to reach 1.3 million in such a short time frame. So based on that, we have split the process into three distinct phases. Where, like the DG indicate, the first one is where you do reviews. We already at stage had officers in the departments who had responsibility for the ethics management of departments. So what they have then for the last 10 years before this was introduced is to manage the financial disclosures of public service. meaning the information, at first it was a pay-based system, then became electronic system, where certain questions asked for public servants to disclose, and they are mainly around their financial status, such as dates, cars, houses, type of information which is regulated by the public service regulation. So then these 8 officers will scrutinize the information and also to the source of it, like the innate system cars, the deeds for the vehicles, the CIPC system for companies, and so on that, they will then identify where there is public servants that actually live beyond things or not, because we know in public service exactly how much people are paid. You can quickly refer if a person is now actually living above his income. So based on that, the ethics officer will then refer it for investigation, because the investigators will then the ones who will go into the nitty-gritty of the case to see whether there's actual unexplained wealth, as we call it. Because sometimes a person can have a Porsche or Ferrari or whatever, and it's justifiable. The person can say I need in a lotto or whatever the case may be and prove that. But those cases where a person cannot give a receipt, that becomes then explained wealth. Then the departmental investigators will investigate that and follow the investigation process. When they then find that there's criminality, it will be handed to these who will be the ones that will do a proper investigation and criminal case, and then the person will be charged and will be taken care of. The last phase is where there's real complex issues at play, and an investigator can by himself easily find the money trail, and that is need an auditor that is trained auditor, where the department then need to get in to assist tracking the money and making sure there is absolute evidence for criminal case. So that is the way that the lifestyle audits were envisaged. Now, all processes we have training people on in terms of DPS and to assist the departments and support departments, as Dean indicated. We also got the of the bank, got assistance from Canadian government in the form of the Strengthening Ethics and Integrity Project, and then based on that, we have provided training to the ethics officers for the first phase, but also for those or for the investigators departments. Now, in the beginning, this is to address the issue of is this only that we can do. You cannot fix corruption and lavish lifestyles with only tool. This is part of a broader approach, and this only the part deals with risk assessment in the department. Of course, you look at your recruitment procedures, your policy procedures. You need to look at vetting procedures. All of those that all together there will be a good line of defense. So what found then was in the beginning there was a lot of resistance, but this year got that 147 out of 160 national and provincial departments did perform lifestyle audits thoroughly. They have referred just less than 200 SMS members for investigation, 191 to be exact, and the investigations here that we saw that's different from last year is the actual reference now to employees conducting business with the state, and also possible lifestyle or unexplained wealth issues, which we did not see previously. So you see the system is maturing, where the investigator now start looking at the right things. Of course, we still need to have the progress report on 70 SMS members, which we requested. So as the TAO unit, we do follow up monitoring to make sure that those departments do not submit the lifestyle audits that they do, and that we support them in that sense. So that is in brief, PG.
Thank you, Dr. Solomon. I also had a question, I think, that related to precautionary suspensions and then the processes that I involved and the transfers. That the question was around the precautionary transfers. So just want to highlight it in that. So in terms of our labor relations laws and discipline code, one of the tools you can use is to precautionary transfer employee. So you precautionary send, you can precautionary transfer. When you require to make any negation. So there will be a complaint an employee, then it must be investigated, and then there's a disciplinary process aligned to that. So can precautionary transfer an employee. What we have picked up is that government departments do not, some government departments, it seems they just decide to precautionary suspend and not consider the option of precautionary transfer, because we suspend sending a person to home. But when you do transfer, the person can be transferred internally within the department, maybe in another unit or another branch, so that the person, the risk of the person interfering in investigation, depending on the type of the investigation, is managed, or the person can be precautionary transferred to another department in order to manage that particular risk. So what we were saying now is that we are working with departments to ensure that they really consider the option or the tool of precautionary transfers instead of just precautionary suspending and sending to stay at home. In some instances, a person may be precautionary suspended to at home, and the investigation is done because the name of the investigation does not require the person to be in the department. And because of the complexity of the issues that are being dealt with, it could be a corruption-related or fraud-related case, for instance, and there's complexity in investigating some of these cases, so that the time frames may last longer than the prescribed 60 days to investigate and start the disciplinary process and bring them back to the department to continue with work. So in instances, what we are engaging with departments is that instead of the person staying at home for 2 years or 3 years because of the complexity of the case and then the delays associated with this, once the investigation is done and you realize that you are going to meet the deadline, then find a mechanism to transfer them. Transfer to a role that is now exposed to some of the issues that relate to the disciplinary process and the suspension. But each case obviously must be assessed and to understand the complexities of that case, the risk associated with that case. For instance, if it's an educator who is suspended because of alleged sexual abuse of children, as an example, can then educator back to the environment of educating children because of the exposure and because of the risk in relation to that. But you may consider to take that educator to a regional office where they can assist with administration support in terms of the capability as an educator. So, but each case has to be looked at. We have to match the risk so that you don't that person back to environment where they'll be able again to be exposed and continue with the misconduct that may affecting children in terms of this example that I've given. So I hope that so the whole idea is that we need more and more of our publics focusing on their work instead of staying at home because of suspense that are not completed within time. Need to come back and to focus on the work, and the precautionary transfers serve as a tool is appropriate in terms of ours to be able to bring them back to the place of work and to